This is usually the point in the year where you post all the amazing plans and goals you have for the upcoming year on the projects that you want to work on. Instead, this is where I am sitting with a conundrum of I don't know what Fauxbonichi means to me anymore, and I'm not sure how to keep going with it. I have been doing this since, I don't know, the Fauxbonichi group started in 2014, I think. And gosh, yeah. But I've been, keeping a daily journal for years and years and years. And that was great when I had all of these things going on every day. Joshua was growing up. He had tons of school stuff and everyday stuff and outings, and we went and we did and we experienced and we lived. But there was just so much to journal about, so much to talk about, so much going on, and the pages just filled themselves without very much effort. And so I had started with a little calendar that gave you like a 2-inch by 5-inch, 6-inch space to just write one thing down in that day. And then it progressed to a larger journal, and then pretty soon a huge journal where every day was just overflowing with memories and experiences and photos and drawings and art, and there was so much time. They say you have more time the older you get because you have less things going on, so you have more time to do things. And I always thought, oh, that'll be so wonderful. But in reality, you have more time to slow down and do less. And Joshua's grown and doing his own thing now, and Dale and I are working on our own things, but they're sporadic. They're not daily. I say often, even if you just put down today I did laundry, it's something. And I'm struggling to take my own advice that I followed for years and years and years. I think I've just lost my way on it. What do you do when you've come to the end of something and you're death grip to hang on to it, even though you know it's just not fitting anymore? And it's not like a pair of pants you could work back into over time. It's like going back to that high school reunion, kind of can't go back. Everything you thought you remembered, you go and you meet everybody again and you're like, whoa, this is not the same. So I'm trying to find a new direction. And what I realized is that I have not lost, I'm just not in a place to be creative. I don't want to reinvent things anymore. I don't want to figure out things anymore. I just want to follow a tutorial and put it together and enjoy that things are done. We laugh because my husband is into cars, and he for years and years and years wanted to buy another project car that we would rip apart and rebuild and paint and do all of those kind of things. And of course, time passes and the opportunities pass, and you get to a certain point, kind of like we are now, and it's like, can we just buy a car and travel with it instead? Because I don't really want to spend the time on the work to get to the finished project anymore. And that's kind of where I am with my memory keeping. And I think at this point, I am more in the memory keeping than the Fauxbonichi. The Fauxbonichi was always based off the Hobonichi, which was a daily planner. And even though the definition is not, you don't have to do it daily, it always was for daily because there was just so much, that's what we set out to do. And I think I have kind of ended up back in, I don't know, like, it's not scrapbooking because it's not like I want to put one picture down and put a one sentence description. It snowed today and that's it. I still want to do the journaling. I just don't feel like what I've been doing fits anymore. It's like it's too tight. It's not comfortable. I dread it. And I think that's why I haven't been able to stay consistent for the last couple of years, because it just doesn't fit into my lifestyle anymore in its current form. And I don't really know how to make it do that. I tried to switch to a different journal and I tried to switch to different things, and what I've ended up with is like, I'm really enjoying buying these mini album kits. I've hit a financial point where I can do that. And for years and years and years, the Fauxbonichi was a very affordable way to create. And you could use minimal supplies and you could make wonderfully beautiful things. And it filled a void, a niche. And now for me, it's like, I just want to make pretty things, but I want them to be still useful because I still don't have space to store nonsense. But now I'd kind of like to be able to just hide it more, like the decorations are in the important part now instead of the memories, and the memories are that, oh, look at this pocket. What is this? Instead of in your face. And so I think that I'm going to have to switch out of being a Fauxbonichier, and I'm going to have to become more of just a memory keeper, and the openness that involves. I'm still going to take care of my Fauxbonichi group. It's kind of self-sufficient anyways. I don't know. Eventually I probably will let it go. It's kind of hard at this point to do that because I've had it for so long. And it just, I don't know. It's like letting go of a kid when he's grown up. I guess it's you have to let it go. They have to live, they have to fly, but you just can't seem to let go just yet. Just 5 more minutes, Mom. But it just doesn't fit anymore, and it's not right to twist the group into something to fit my whims. I did make changes. We voted to use, and it was so funny because so many people had been so upset that they couldn't use whatever journal they wanted to use. They wanted to use handmade journals, they wanted to use binders, they wanted to do this. And for years and years and years, it was always outvoted, even though we had, loud protests that they wanted these things. So finally, I think it was last year, we did another vote. We always vote on all the rules. And, the majority voted that they wanted to do any kind of journal they wanted. It was fine that it had to have, a memory on the page, but it could be, binders, it could be junk journals, it could be anything. And as soon as the rule passed, nobody did it. Nobody did it. And so it was fascinating that for years, this had been something that people had demanded, and they got their way and they didn't want it. And so I took it. I was like, well, I'm going to put mine in a binder and I'm going to do it my way. Let's do it. But it's, I don't know. I don't fit in anymore. And I don't want people to, I don't want them, I don't know what the message is for the group. I mean, to me, when I started it, it was always about getting the memories on paper. Maybe the Fauxbonichi journalers need to change also. Maybe the reason that there's so many members but so few posting is that they just aren't comfortable either. Like, it's not quite fitting them either. I don't know. Nobody tells me, and I ask all the time, is there anything you'd like to see? And yeah, but I think a lot of it is the one rule that hangs everybody up is that they have to have a memory on the page, although they get hung up on that, and really it could just be one part of the day. People are like, well, I don't want to share my personal business, and I'm thinking, you cook dinner, there's nothing personal about it. Just put you cook dinner and then you can share your page. But I think I've just moved past it's like dragging people to participate, and I get it. I think it's taken me years to get it, but I get it. And I'm not going to anymore. If you don't want to post, don't. And I don't know why you're part of the group. But so I don't really know what to do with that, and that's probably going to come, this part will probably come as a hard words, but it's, if they don't care, I've lost my care, and it's made it really hard. And we used to do so much in it, but it was an incredible amount of work. And I think times have just changed, and that's okay too. But for me, Fauxbonichi doesn't mean Fauxbonichi anymore. It means memory keeping. And I think that, that's okay. I'm just not sure if I can share it in the group anymore. I don't know if it's pertinent. I don't know if it's relevant. And so I have to figure that out. But in general, I don't think I'll ever, I won't say never, but I'm not sure I will ever go back to journaling every single day. I have no urge to write down my deep, dark thoughts. I would just like to catch snippets of my week down, a picture of snow here, the cats being cute there, Joshua coming home from work, bundled up like a snowman. We cook dinner together. I've been doing My Little Realities YouTube channel, and it occurred to me that I have kind of switched to online vlogging as my memory keeping, because I realized one day that in all the years that video cameras have been a thing, I have no videos of hardly anything in my life. And I was so hung up on having the photos done that I never realized that the videos would be just as important. What did they sound like? What did they laugh like? What made them giggle? What made us, what is in between the photos? And so I started My Little Realities a couple months ago, and it's kind of become an obsession of just everyday life. And it occurred to me that this morning, really, that it's kind of the new Fauxbonichi. And it's so real and it's so raw. It can be. I mean, there's a lot of fake out there. I laugh when I watch some of the videos, because you're like, oh, come on, nobody's house looks like that. Not then gets dressed up with nice clothes, makeup, and their hair done to clean it. I mean, it's so fake. And people watch it by the millions. And I just think, well, you could be getting your own life together instead. But anyways, to me, it's this place to find myself, to start working on the next stage of my life. It's to see what Joshua sounds like, and what I sound like. And yesterday we cooked a dinner together, and we were laughing, and I have that on video, and there's no way I could, with a photo and a journal page, put that same emotion, thought, and moment into words. And it doesn't mean that it's not important to put them into words. It's just, I think at this time of my life, that's where I'm at, is showing that I'm still here, that now it's my turn, that I need work. I've raised the family. I've got us out of debt. I've done all of these things, and none of it was me. It was for me or had to do with me, but none of it was about me. And now I'm like, I think I better take my turn before I'm out of time. And so the pressure of having an everyday journal is just killing me. It's killing something in my soul, because I look at my stuff and I think, I don't like you anymore, but I have to do it. I have to do it. And that's a terrible place to be in something that you're supposed to be creative and enjoying on. And so it's like I've been trying to figure out for weeks what to do for my February journal, even though I'm way behind on the daily in my January journal, because there's this pressure of what's next. Keep up. You have to keep doing it. You have to keep going. And then I realized, February's still winter. I could just combine January and February together, and there's no rules that say I can't. And if there are rules, I'm 52. Make me. So that was like a breath of fresh air when I realized I was allowed to make changes to these rules that had been set. I don't know, maybe I need to go into the Fauxbonichi journaler group and I need to just say, I'm flushing it all. Do whatever the fuck you want. And see where it goes. I mean, what is the worst that could happen, right? That at the end of the day, it's just another junk journal group and people are having fun and enjoying it. I don't know. You tell me what you think. If you're in the Fauxbonichi journalers group, you tell me. You tell me. Should I just say, let it go and just let it be a free-for-all? I mean, nobody posts. Hardly anybody posts. I have 3 people that post repeatedly out of 5,000 members. And in fairness, I don't either. So, because like I said, I've lost my way. And I don't want to find it. I want to put these little journals together, these albums together, but I don't want them to be photo albums. I want them to have the stories in them, And it's been so fun because I've figured out how to do QRs. So like a lot of these pages have QRs now that you can link to a YouTube video on them, which, is kind of stupid because future-wise, who knows if YouTube will be there. But I'm trying to figure out how to QR them to a particular hard drive, and so it will pop up and say this hard drive is what you want to find for the videos or the more photos on it or something like that. I think that'd be really fun to combine technology with paper. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I started this journal in January and I was having so much fun with it. But then the pressure of get it done every day, get it done. There's got to be a page for every day, and where are you going to put all the journaling? What are you going to put all the journaling? And then, a lot of the pictures I have are literally of like Benny and Sophie sitting in front of the fire because it's January and it's freaking cold. That's not a full page. What did you do today? I cooked dinner. Blah, blah, blah. And, and I hear, the worst part is I hear myself, and the advice I've given over the years is, write it down, even if it was just laundry, it's important. And I still believe that. But I think when the 5th day is passed that you write laundry, now you've passed what my advice were, and I don't want to just answer questions to fill pages and that kind of stuff. I don't know. So I'm going to work on these little journals, and I'm not sure if they will get shared in my group or not. They will get shared probably on YouTube over time. And I'm not going to say that I'm going to be like, I'm going to post a monthly video and I'm just going to share when I get something done. And I want to get back into doing mixed media stuff and art stuff and watercoloring and all of these arts and craft things that I used to do that got shoved off because of the daily journaling was more important. And sometimes you just can't combine that stuff. But if I'm memory keeping, there could be weeks in between that next awesome photo. And that would give me time in between to do other things. But the long story short is that I'm kind of at a crossroads of figuring out who I am, where I'm going, what I'm going to be doing with it. And so I think I'm just going to give myself grace this year to see what I become, who I become, and where I'm going with all parts of my life. Not just the journaling, but my cross-stitching, my house, my family, everything. But most of all, I need to find me, because I'm not on these pages. I'm not in these journals. Everybody else is. And I think that it's probably time to maybe find something that captures me so that people know I was here too. Not just behind the camera and not just behind the pen. So I hope you're finding your way in your memory keeping style. Let me know down below what's bringing you joy in it. Or is your style not bringing you joy and you're stuck just like I am, finding a new way? See you later. Bye.